Well, we made it to another year. It is 2022, and the CBSN Minnesota Morning Update is still here. What a gift to you and to all of us, the whole team. Let's say thanks, everybody. We did it. Woo. Yes, Ron. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, Ron. I hope you guys had a nice break, a little time off, a little time away from me, which, you know what, maybe does you some good. How about the forecast? Oh, yeah. We've been celebrating this warm day on tap. I think this is about average, right? I don't know. It sure is a little more pleasant than the sub-zero temperatures we had over part of this weekend. 22, the high, around 4, sunny, dry. Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, tomorrow's going to be even warmer. And then, boom, back into the freezer we go. So let's talk about this. It is January 3rd, 3 days in the new year. It's been a challenge, right? If you were traveling over the holidays, certainly by air, woof. About 1,800 flights canceled again today. No big surprise. We've seen this with so many people testing positive for COVID. If you run an airline, what are you going to do? Like, you don't have enough people to fly the plane or to check in the baggage. I know that's been a big problem at MSP over the last couple of days. People having to wait 24 hours. They're telling them, like, come back tomorrow and get your luggage. Oh, so many problems which started around Christmas Eve. Lots of flights canceled. The weather an issue. So we got thinking about this. Over your break, Christmas, New Year's, tell us one thing that went wrong. One thing that maybe didn't go according to plan. For me, I got COVID. That wasn't great. It wasn't awful. My symptoms were pretty mild, sore throat, but yeah, testing positive for COVID. That was my number one thing that went wrong a couple of days before Christmas. So let us know kind of your, maybe it was a mild disaster, maybe it was a bigger one. We want to, we'll get through it together. We'll commiserate together, and we'll read your comments in just a couple of minutes. Many kids are going back to class today after a little bit of time off to celebrate the holidays. I hope my kids got out the door on time this morning. Local doctors say, just kind of get ready for this. COVID cases will surge in Minnesota. If you know someone who's tested positive, you probably know a handful of people, right? It seems like it's been going, well, you know me. So there you go. Doctors say the Omicron surge about to be so large. Families really need to plan for this. The schools it's going to be in the schools. Best advice, have your kids masked up, wear it correctly over the nose. Maybe upgrade your mask. It's time to get that KN95 mask or an N95. Former FDA commissioner says the national surge in COVID cases likely to continue into February. So they're saying now even better than the cloth mask if you wear a surgical mask. The paper surgical masks are actually better than the cloth mask. So it's all about mitigation. People kind of get obsessed about masks. It's really about vaccination. So good luck to everybody, and hopefully you get through it as gently as I did. The Minnesota Vikings, nothing gentle about that loss. New questions about the future of the coach, about the general manager. Here's the final. Packers. Man, the Packers have had such a good team this year, and they win 37-10. Packers get the number one seed in the playoffs. The Vikings get one more meaningless game next week. 2 straight losing seasons under coach Mike Zimmer. Mike Zimmer will go down as the 3rd winningest coach in Minnesota Vikings history, assuming this is his final year. So we will see. This has been kind of an interesting controversy, right? Now, I know some of you on your phone, it says that you have 5G service, but it's probably not the real 5G, and AT&T and Verizon are really rolling out this 5G super fast wireless internet service on Wednesday. But it's been a controversy because some airlines are saying, hey, we think this 5G stuff is going to mess with our equipment, some of this equipment that helps them land at more than 40 airports. Now, somehow they've launched 5G in every other industrialized country, and the airlines are fine. But here in America, the new new cell phone towers might cause interference. So the telecom companies basically have said, tough, figure it out. We don't believe you. They offered to put in some sort of safety guards to try to make sure the signal doesn't spill over into like the airport area. A group representing about a dozen U.S. airlines has asked the FCC to get involved to delay that plan. Maybe you win the Powerball tonight. 2022, starting as a multimillionaire. The jackpot, $522 million for tonight. We've gone 3 months. Nobody's won. So if you take the lump sum cash payout, big money, $371 million if you're a solo winner. Oh, this was sad over break. Betty White dying right before her 100th birthday. Fans are going to have a special opportunity to remember her later this month. There's a documentary, a celebration. Betty White, a celebration. Just a remarkable life that she has led. Incredible career. Kind of a burst of popularity in her 80s and 90s, but she has been a mainstay for decades. One night only. There's going to be a special in theaters Monday, January 17th. Would have been Betty's 100th birthday here in Minnesota. You can see it at the AMC, Rosedale, Southdale, and Eden Prairie. Some of you may have spent the weekend nursing a hangover after New Year's. You know who I'm talking about. You know who you are. Maybe you have a secret hangover cure. So some scientists said, you know what? Wouldn't it be great if we could tell people the best cure to a hangover? And here it is from Britain. Nothing. None of it works. They looked at a bunch of different products, clove extract, red ginseng, Korean pear juice, some other nonsense. And they said pretty much no scientific basis for any of them. Some supposedly improve some hangover symptoms. Of course, people always say they have a cure, and here are some of the top ones. Number one, stay home, in bed, close the curtains. That's the survey. We'll put it up on your screen so you can see what people are saying. 1 in 5 said that's our best cure. Half said staying hydrated throughout the night prevents a hangover, so that's good. About 37% said guzzling a pint of water before going to sleep was an effective way to prevent from feeling sick. How would you know if it worked, though? Like, maybe you weren't going to feel sick anyway. Like, that's the problem with most of these supposed cures, right? Eating something, another common option. Don't drink that much. That's another option. That's my number one hangover cure. It's a preventative measure, but consider that. All right. I love this video. We wanted to show it to you this morning. This is from Mike T-Bowl. This is how you start 2022, right? Group of water skiers find a little unfrozen river, and off they go. How about the music, too? Wah, 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 wah. Yeah, that's right. It's pretty great. Air temp about 11 below. They got a big crowd out there, too. Take that air temperature, add in the speed of the boat. They were estimating it felt like it was about 40 below. Oh, but they had their face covered. They're ready to go. All right, that is crazy, right? We describe these people as crazy. How about this from Sherry Hancock in Cokato, Minnesota? Both of these, that video and these pictures, if you want to see this sort of stuff first, make sure you subscribe to the WCCO Instagram page, because that's where I saw this yesterday. The pants are good. Like, you see this in some people's yards, right? They freeze the pants. I'm impressed with the spaghetti dinner. Look how, now take a close look at this. The fork is suspended in midair, being held up by the frozen paschetti. A little bubbly, a little top hat. Very good. Very creative. My way of dealing with sub-zero weather, close the door and hunker down. That's how I do it, but I like your spirit. I like how some of you are doing this. All right, let's talk about train wrecks. Who had a disaster? Who had something go wrong during break? Oh, Tamra. Stomach flu. Yeah, if it's not COVID, it's the flu. And nothing worse than when it runs through a household one person at a time. You feel like you're just in this perpetual nightmare. Tam, I hope everybody's feeling better. Thank you. Jenny's best friend came home for Christmas from Venezuela. For the first time in 2 years, her family got the flu, so I couldn't see her. Oh, no. Oh, no, Jenny. That's awful. I'm sorry about that. All right. Here's Todd. Oh, Todd, that's good. The only thing that went wrong was that the holiday break flew past way too quickly. I know last night before I went to bed, I was kissing my wife goodnight. I was like, sorry, our break was, COVID isolation. And then I looked at her and I said, there's no one I'd rather spend. And she was like, enough. Okay. She knew the BS too well. Diana, someone hit an electric pole snapping it, and the area was out of power for several hours. Oh my gosh. That's pretty bad, Diana. Hope that person's all right. That's a little scary, isn't it? Here's Maggie. A couple of people at Christmas time testing positive for COVID. And then an aunt went down after New Year's Eve. Yeah, that's what kind of messed up our Christmas for sure. All right, thanks, everybody. It's going to be all right. These things happen and life gets better. COVID was the worst thing for my Christmas break. Number 2, yesterday we woke up and our freezer, our deep freezer that we keep in the basement, was beeping because it wasn't working anymore. That's great. But the good news was it was beeping, so we got all of the stuff out of there and just stored it in Mother Nature's freezer, our patio. It's on the deck right now. So I'm shopping for a new freezer at the beginning of 2022. How thrilling. Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. We'll be back here tomorrow. Hopefully things will turn around for you and for me, and we'll see you then.